All right, go ahead and make sure you have your warm-up sheet out for this week. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through how to solve inequalities. We're going to start with one step, and let's just start with the very basics for one step. The one thing that you really need to make sure that you understand is, and you might want to write this on the side of your paper like I have, all right? Solve just like an equation with one major exception, and we'll talk about that exception in a minute. Okay, solve just like an equation. So if you're great with solving equations, this is very, very similar. Just one little exception, and we're also going to graph. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the first one here. So we're looking at this one right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to rewrite the problem right down here. So you've got a little bit of room to work on it. Okay, and then we are going to solve it just like an equation. I'm going to circle my x, draw my line down, and then I'm going to add 7 on both sides. So if I add 7 on both sides, I get negative 5 is greater than x. Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to check that. So I'm going to go to where x is negative 5, right there. And I'm going to say, all right, x has got to be less than negative 5, or negative 5 is greater than x. So negative 6 should work. So let me go ahead and check that. And I'm going to take and put in a negative 6. And if you look here, I put a negative 6 in for x, minus that, and negative 12 is greater than negative 13. So now let's go ahead and graph that. So here is our answer. I'm going to circle it because I know it's true. And I'm going to put, let's go ahead and look at this right here to talk about what we're going to do and when. When we have a greater than or a less than symbol, it has to be an open circle, just like a dashed line when we're doing a linear inequality. If we have a greater than or equal to or a less than or equal to, it's a closed line, all right? Solid line or solid circle, just like a solid line in a linear inequality. So let's go ahead and graph this right here. I'm going to go to negative 5, and since it does not have the equal sign down there, I'm going to put an open circle. Now I'm doing this above the line. I find it's easier to draw open circles above the line. But as you can see right here, sometimes it'll be on the line and sometimes it'll be above the line. All right, I prefer it to be just above or just below so that we can really see where your arrow is going and we can really see whether it's an open or closed circle. Okay, and since x is less than negative 5, if you read that backwards, or negative 5 is greater than x, it has to go to the left. And you can put as big of an arrow kind of as you want there, but it's got to go to the left. All right? So the next one that we're going to do down here, we're going to go all the way down to number 12. All right, number 12 is a special one. Okay? So if we look at number 12, I rewrote the problem down here, and let's just kind of solve this. We're going to divide both sides by negative 9. We divide by negative 9, we get x is greater than or equal to 10. So we can go to 10 and we can put a solid dot at 10. All right, but before we do anything else, let's make sure that we check it. So let's put negative 9, and let's use, since x is greater than 10, let's use 11. All right, 11 and greater than or equal to negative 90. All right, and then negative 9 times 11 is negative 99, is greater than or equal to negative 90. Is negative 99 greater than or equal to negative 90? No. All right, so this brings us to our one difference here. When you divide or multiply by a negative on both sides, when you multiply or divide by a negative on both sides, comma, flip the inequality sign. So in other words, this right here becomes x is less than or equal to 10, right? Less than or equal to 10. And if we put a 9 in there, 9 times negative 9 is negative 81, which is less than, which would be less than or equal to negative 90, or greater than or equal to negative 90. Okay? So it's less than 10, so we are going to draw an arrow to the left again. All right, that is solving linear inequalities. For the multi-step and two-step, you do those exactly the same way, only flipping the inequality sign when you divide by or multiply by a negative on both sides.